In May of 2012, a 32-carat Burmese ruby and diamond ring that was part of the collection of Lily Safra, one of the richest women in the world, was sold at auction. The pre-auction estimate for the sale was $3 to $5 million, but the final sale ended up being $6.7 million. It's believed to be the most expensive ruby ever sold. As valuable as rubies are, the Bible tells us there's something more valuable than that. It's called wisdom. Listen to Proverbs 8:11. For wisdom is better than Lily Safra's rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Welcome to the 260 journey and to the book of James. James begins the book by telling us how to find this invaluable and rare jewel called wisdom. Wisdom is not simply information. I know a lot of intelligent people who are not wise. Education does not make someone wise, and neither does experience. Being old is no guarantee of wisdom either. See, wisdom includes experience and education, but knowledge versus wisdom, never mistake in knowledge and wisdom. One helps you make a living, the other helps you make a life. Knowledge speaks, wisdom listens. Doug Larson said, wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you would have preferred to talk. See, each year in the US, 800,000 new books and 400,000 periodicals are published. And someone said we are drowning in information, but starving for wisdom. So what is wisdom and how do you get it? Someone said knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is knowing not to put it in fruit salad. But it was Spurgeon who best defined it when he gave the difference between wisdom and knowledge. He said wisdom is the right use of knowledge. To know is to not be wise. Many men know a great deal, but are even greater fools for it. But to know and how to use knowledge rightly is to have wisdom. R.T. Kendall has been a spiritual father and mentor to me, and his book, In Pursuit of His Wisdom, has had a great impact on me. Listen to R.T.'s definition of wisdom. It's priceless. He said, wisdom is saying or doing the right thing at the right time. Wisdom focuses on knowing the next step forward and making decisions. Wisdom is the ability to get things done. Wisdom is knowing what to do next. Wisdom, he says, is getting God's opinion. See, God always has an opinion on any matter. He therefore should be consulted first when we are wanting to know the next step. Wisdom is knowing what to do next. God always knows the next step, but is rarely asked. I have good news. Wisdom is not far away, and James 1:5 tells us where wisdom can be found. James says if you want wisdom, it's found in prayer. Listen to verse 5. If any lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives it generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. I think counseling has gone up in the church because prayer has gone down. We get counseling to gain wisdom when we could have started with God instead of an office. I think prayerlessness is an insult to God. Every prayerless day is a statement by a helpless individual that I don't need God today. Baptist preacher Vance Havner says, listen to this, if you lack knowledge, go to school. If you lack wisdom, get on your knees. Wisdom is available to those who ask God in prayer for it. That means wisdom and prayer go together. You can't have one without the other. No one who is wise is prayerless, and no one who is prayerless will ever be wise. You will never attain wisdom apart from the presence of God. Wisdom is not education or diplomas or degrees. Wisdom is supernatural, and it's found when you talk with God. See, Colossians 2:3 says, all the treasures of wisdom are found in him. So he is our source and the source of wisdom. That means you can have an MBA and a PhD and still be DUMB. Because if God is divorced from your life, then you are divorced from all that the wise God has. Every man of wisdom is a man of prayer. What God has joined together, we can't put asunder. And in this case, the wise pray and the prayerful are wise. The Bible says in Proverbs 13:20, he who walks with wise men will be wise. So think about it. Those who walk with God will have to be wise. Why? Because there is no one wiser than God. Walk with God, talk with God, listen to God, and watch how he rubs off on you. I lived in Detroit for 30 years and lived down the street from the first auto factory in the United States. There's a really cool story told about that plant. Automaker Henry Ford asked electrical genius Charlie Steinmetz to build the generators for his factory. One day the generators ground to a halt. The repairman couldn't find the problem. So Ford called Steinmetz, who tinkered with the machines for a few hours and then threw the switch. The generators came to life and Ford got a bill for $10,000 from Steinmetz. Flabbergasted, and the tight-fisted manufacturer car maker inquired why the bill was so high. Steinmetz's reply was this: for tinkering with the generators, $10. For knowing where to tinker, $9,990. Ford paid the bill. See, wisdom knows the exact spot to make things work. God is like Charlie Steinmetz. He knows how to make life work, and every day how it could be the best day for you. We need his wisdom. Thanks for joining the 260 Journey.